So starting with Julie, good morning. Let's tell me a little bit about yourself and what you want to get out of today.
Well, Athina is my niece, if you didn't know that. And I have a travel agency. So if you can imagine,
nice.
my business for this year is gone. It's completely evaporated. It's gone. So we don't know. We're on the cusp here of trying to figure out what's going on with our coming months into 21 because we do not know. I'm not all that familiar with what you guys are doing here, so I'm here to learn, to know what's going on and what you are offering or teaching. Athena has given me little bits and pieces of information, but I haven't heard the whole presentation.
Okay.
But, a lot of my people and a lot of my business development managers, we do webinars all the time. So that's how we're learning what's going on, and we're starting to do webinars to our clients and trying to use that.
So we'll get to that. I want everybody to kind of keep it to 2 minutes so we can get right into our content. So it's, what do you need and how can we help? And let's move on to Lee.
Yeah, good morning. I'll make it brief. I was a nonprofit fundraiser for 30 years, put on 100 events in all over the world, actually. One of those events, every year I used to take my donors overseas to see some of the things that we were funding. So I've done overseas trips, 10 of them, golf tournaments, dinners for 1,000 people. So that's my background in events. Today I do financial planning, and we do events for our clients and our teammates and our prospects all the time. Some of you have been to them. Athena has been to them. And we're doing more online. So I want to know more about what you do and what the online process is, and I just want to get better at this.
Okay, great. Danny.
Good morning. Good morning. My name's Danny. I sit on a couple different boards, the ACC and the Arden Chamber, and I also run my own business, the marketing business. And so I'm basically here to learn about how to better communicate with my team and get some leadership goals.
All right. Miss Morgan, nice to meet you, Danny.
Hi, everybody. I'm happy to be here today. Diana Morgan, I'm a social media strategist, and I have a social media management company. And I'm here. I'm always wanting to learn new things about how to, I do online events, and everything I do is online. So I'm always up for learning new things, and I'm excited about meeting everybody here and hearing what everyone else is doing and however I can help. And I'm speaking next month at this event, so there.
Cool. Thank you, Diana. Gloria Webb-Williams.
Hello, my dear. Good morning, everyone. My name's Gloria Webb-Williams. My company is Ancient Stones Nurturing Natural. Like most of you, I have gone through quite a challenge because I have an all-natural mineral cosmetic company, and it's kind of hard to do that without touch. So I had to shut down on March 16th. And so I'm here to learn all about different post-COVID tricks of the trades that I can use to keep my business alive and thriving.
Okay, great. I think we can help with that. Rosa, good morning.
Good morning. So excited. When I registered for this, it was like, oh, I need to be there. So I'm glad to be here, and thank you for the opportunity. My name is Rosa Gracida. I work for Magnolia Corps all the way in Vacaville, California. So hi, we neighbors, right? And I've been working with the seniors. We are an assisted living and memory care community serving seniors 60 years and older. And I've been in this company, proudly have to say, 22 years. So very,
Nice.
very excited for that. I have passion to work with elders and to make a difference in the people's life. But in addition to that, why I'm looking for things to learn and just learn from experience and how can we be better to help others is I want to become a motivational speaker as well. And so that's it is in my mind. I want to know how I be able to reach the masses, perhaps in a bilingual manner too.
Mhm.
So thank you. I'm here ready to learn. Thank you for the opportunity.
Good. Good morning. Thank you, Rosa. Tracy, and then Tracy Root. Tracy Ty, and then Tracy Root.
Good morning, everybody. Surviving in a virtual world. I have an absolutely fantastic jewelry business, which, as you can see, makes you look so awesome on Zoom. I am doing a Blingo Bingo fundraiser on June 28th, which is so much fun. And this one is for the power of love. So if you want community and something fun to do on Zoom, that one is $25. But just imagine how far $25 will go in a third world country. So that's the power of love. I have an opportunity call by our head of sales and marketing with Touchstone Crystals. So if you're looking for an opportunity, that one happens to be 4 p.m. this Tuesday. I do a wonderful offering from the book of Comfort and Joy. And maybe some of you are familiar with it, but it's a wonderful book. This morning's reading was less than 10 minutes, and it's helping us all in this world of adjusting and evolving. So that's fantastic. And
Tracy, how
yes.
can we help you? How can we help you? What can I do to help?
Great. Who's asking that question?
Tanya.
Perfect. Thank you so much. How can you help me? Join my Facebook page, host a virtual party with jewelry, which is so rewarding for you and so much fun. And I'm looking for new people to join my team. So.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Tracy Root.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. My name is Tracy, and I live here in sunny Santa Cruz, California. Sunny anyway today. I'm a coach and a speaker and a community builder, and I build community through one-on-one and group personal and health coaching. And I also help other people promote and build their own events, either online or in person, through my events-based brand here in Santa Cruz called Gather. And my goal for being here today in this group is, I'm always trying to learn new ideas on how to better support my community in their events and workshops, and whether it's online or in person. And yeah, I'm always just looking for new tips, whether it's something that we've heard a million times, but today we're ready to hear it one more time and actually implement it, or to be a light for other people to know that they are able to do what they want to do with their events as well. So that's why I'm here.
All right. Thank you. How can we help?
Well, just to be your amazing self so that I can continue to learn and grow and support my people based on what I've heard you do today.
Okay, great. Austin, thank you. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how we can help. What do you need? How can I help you?
Thank you for having me. I heard about this event from Athina, and Athina and Danny and I know each other from providing service in the art and arcade community here in Sacramento. We've done a lot of nonprofit work and just reaching out and volunteering together. And so I really tuned in today because Athina sent me the information and I thought it sounded very interesting. I haven't participated in a lot of these types of forums. I have my bachelor's degree in communications and more specifically rhetoric. And so I find it very interesting, like the situation we're put in now. And I think Athina and Danny and I have also discussed this kind of, reality. It's just who could have predicted it would have all come at once with coronavirus. So having to build digital has just been like forced on us all at once. So I'm really tuning in today. How you could help me is just by presenting good information, and I'm just going to be largely listening, and I'm just here with my friend Rocky. And
hi, Rocky.
Rocky says hi, and
Cool.
we're just gonna hang out and listen today and try and come up with some ideas through listening to other people's creativity.
Cool. Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you guys.
Debbie and then Marlise. Deborah?
Oh, Deborah. I didn't respond to Debbie. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I abbreviated. I shouldn't have.
I'm Deborah, and I went away. There I am. I have 2 companies. My sister and I own 700 acres of pistachios. And I also have a company that sells skincare and hair care products. It's the #1 hair care product in the world. And we're doing virtual meetings online, virtual parties. I know Danny and Athina. Danny's my social media gal. Hi, Danny. Hi, Athina. And she sent me a link and suggested that I watch this today, and so here I am.
All right. Thank you for joining us, Debbie. Hi, Marlise. You're next. Can you unmute yourself?
Hi, this is Marlise, and I am event producer, and I've done live events, so I'm here to learn, switching over to online events. And my business is transformation events and public relations regarding the live events, but I'm actually focusing on my nonprofit. I'm a founder of Do You Care? And what we do is we support women entrepreneurs and also women experiencing domestic violence. And so that's what I'm here to learn, how to do the online events to help and empower women.
Great, great. Well, let's give her a clap. Again, thank you all. A couple of housekeeping rules. Athina, do you want to introduce yourself and kind of go over a little bit of the housekeeping rules, the Zoom rules for a meeting? I can't hear you. Are you muted?
I don't think I am. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. I said, leave your camera off if you go to the bathroom.
Please.
Make sure.
If you have on pajama pants, don't stand up.
Yeah. So yes, I'll probably throughout whenever anyone is talking, I'm probably going to go through and mute people, just so we make sure to have clean recordings on everything. I'm the back room today and the front room today. So I'm here assisting Tanya on putting together this event, and then also I'll be speaking a little bit later. So yes, my name is Athina Salazar, and my company is Life to Design, and I'll be talking more about that during the presentation time that I have. But yes, thank you everyone for showing up in our house today to be able to learn about going from live to online. All of us are experiencing this, so it's going to be really great to share in Mastermind. That's what we're here to do, is to mastermind. So make sure you mute yourself. Make sure we don't have any background noise so that I don't have to jump through and do that. Also, if you have any questions, anything that comes to mind, go ahead and put that in chat. I'm going to be watching the chat, so if there's questions for Tanya that come up or things that you're thinking about, I'll make sure to make note of those. So you'll probably see me making notes, so then we can go ahead and address those. So we want to be here to be able to support you in any way that we can. So we will be having, Tanya will talk about, we'll have breakout sessions. So we're going to be having that as well. So we're going to be communicating there. So just making sure you keep yourself on mute and enjoy yourself. Just come here with an open mind to learn.
Where is chat?
On the bottom of your screen. So on the bottom of your screen, on the bar, it's going to have a little chat. It says chat. And then you just click on there and it'll show up on the side.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And you can type on that. Deborah,
Yeah.
when you stand up, your camera tilts down. So all we see is the bottom half of you and not your beautiful face.
Can you see me now?
Yes, we can. And I'm making these little tweaks just so as you get a chance to learn as you're doing these, that what people see, what they can't see, you
Right.
know, just a little bit about backlight and front light. Just like I know now I need to buy a bigger light because I am not this dark. And the front light is really important. I mean, I tan, but this is the way it looks on here up against the white background.
Yeah.
I need better lighting. So
And
there's all kinds of things that we're going to learn that we need to do. And Diana, did you have something you wanted to say?
The
Go
other
ahead.
thing, I like to let people know that the private, of course, nothing on the internet is ever private, and when you chat privately with somebody, it's not private. Just so you know, it's the person who's created the Zoom sees all chats.
And we will be posting the chat as well in the mastermind group. So if you're in the mastermind group, you will be have access to the chat where you can, so right now, or during the break time, go ahead and put your information, how we can contact you, the name of your business, or any special things you have going on in the chat, okay? All right. So everybody seems to be having a problem of switching from meeting people face to face and going virtual. It's a challenge, but each one of you mentioned something and I have ideas for all of you. Some of the easier transitions for virtual events are executive briefings, all hands-on meetings, board meetings, company meetings, keynote presentations, sales calls, earning calls, supplier meetings, product launches. A lot of you have different products and things that you sell. There's virtual, as far as makeup and things like that, has taken off. People are shopping their heinies off online.
True.
I don't know how many of you have Amazon coming to your house on a regular basis, but that is where it is right now. And getting out there, we have to kind of get over ourselves and get out there and have these conversations. And, you know, I bought mascara that I don't need because this lady's presentation was absolutely great. So those are some of the things that it's easier to transition to. How many of you have heard of hybrid meetings? Just raise your hand. Okay. For those of you who don't know, a hybrid meeting is a combination, like when Tracy starts to open up her center, doing a hybrid meeting, she may only be allowed to have 10 people in the venue. So what she wants to do in a hybrid situation is to open up on Zoom, and so that people can attend virtually as well as be present as well as the people that are present at the meeting. This is kind of a new term, but we're finding that it's very effective. It increases the amount of people that you can reach. In the interest, we all have something that we're trying to sell or a product that we're trying to promote or a service. And one of the ways we can do that is to get in front of more people. So the hybrid event is just phenomenal. I've watched my coach do it, and she's got 15 ladies, 20 ladies in the room, and 80 ladies online. So her reach just quadrupled by doing the hybrid event. And I don't suggest you do it alone. As a member of your team, you may want to hire people like Athina or Diana Morgan to help assist you with these type things. Because learning how to run Zoom may not always be the highest and best use of your time. You do what you can, and we start with what we know. But as you grow and get more comfortable with doing things virtually, go ahead and bring in that team member that can help you. Because I cannot talk to you and monitor the chat. You would feel like I was ignoring you if I'm looking down like this on a regular basis, right? So it's real important that you try to embrace that. Prospective client meetings, training programs are good for hybrid events. In general business meetings, to meet with your team, doing a hybrid event and having, a small boardroom with people there, or you may have people at your house around the dining room table and other people attending the event that way. Program and project management meetings. All kinds of Tracy T does games on Zoom and hybrid meetings. Those are some of the fun ways that each one of you has something. And when the reason I was asking how can I help and finding things, I was taking notes about what you were saying, and I'm gonna have ideas for you to get fun ideas to get in front of people and do on Zoom. On Zoom, we have our Friday wine o'clock wine downs. And this one, we had our first one this week at last Friday, and it was absolutely wonderful. Okay. So that was something different for people to do. We played a game called Two Lies and One Truth. And the ladies really enjoyed it. The guys really enjoyed it. If you have wine and you want to drink it, fine. If you have, some of us had tea and we poured it in a wine glass. So we looked like we were, participating. But it also gave us a chance to connect more one-on-one with people, build a relationship, get the exposure, and people had fun with it. We talked about a little bit about what was going on in our businesses throughout the week. We talked a little bit about the social issues that are going on. People had a chance in a more intimate setting to ask some questions that they might not be able to ask because of the diversity of the group. Sometimes you're afraid to ask certain things. And they were comfortable in asking those questions. And before we left the group, we did some self-care. We let go of everything that didn't work that week. We just let it go and we stepped into the weekend with some self-care and what we were going to do fun for ourselves. Some people just going for a longer walk with the dog. Spending some time with children, going by and waving at grandma, those kinds of things are things that are self-care. And as entrepreneurs, we work hard. Entrepreneurship is not for wimps. So those are some of the fun things that we can do. Make sure that we want to make sure that there are definite challenges with virtual meetings, because a lot of us are really used to the face-to-face contact. Some of the things that make transitioning to virtual really hard is conveying sensitive information, engaging body language. You know how you can tell when people start to glaze over when you're talking to them in person, or women when we do the potty dance, you know you're talking too long when we do the potty dance, we got to go. Or celebrating achievements. Those are some of the things that help, that make doing virtual transition a little bit difficult. Achieving 100% engagement, because here people can click off. They can you can take their face away, but when they can take their face away anytime. And sometimes on here it can be distracting, especially if everybody's looking and then somebody disappears. We're getting used to it. But it used to it oftentimes can seem rude. But don't take us to the bathroom with you. But that's, these are some of the things that you'll get used to in doing virtual meetings. It's easier to transition to virtual meetings because you can share more information. You have better communication and discussions. You can still demonstrate how to do things. You can still motivate people. You will focus more on subject matter when you and provide subject expertise via virtual. Okay, some of you have businesses like travel. Julie, if we can get you doing more virtual things, you know a lot about the travel business. Yes. Why are you not the travel expert right now? Why are you not teaching people about different places that you've been, about different places that they can go, and different things about your industry? Now it's time for you to set yourself up as an expert. And don't get me wrong, when this first hit, everybody kind of did, oh my God, what am I gonna do now? Oh my goodness. My income is gone and I'm just unmotivated. I'm just gonna sit here and pray that I don't get COVID-19. Okay, you've had 3 months to do it, now get over it. Stop feeling sorry for yourself and get over yourself and start to think outside the box. In the Mastermind group, we give freely suggestions to each other and different, you get support and you get ideas, and it's a community. So that's one reason you want to be able to connect and stay connected with people. Julie, destination weddings. People are still planning that. There's a lot of things that can happen for you, and I'll share even more when we talk. So don't feel like you're by yourself, because everything is frozen right now. You feel frozen and stuck in place. Marlise, same thing. You have been a social media expert for a long time, and you help women transition from one kind of life to another kind of life. You're the transition expert. You should be transitioning people into virtual events or teaching how you went from not doing virtual events to doing virtual events. Working on interviewing all of these powerful women who may have a story of domestic violence to tell, or men and women who may have these stories to tell, and giving them a platform to tell it and support what your nonprofit is truly about. Does that make sense? Okay, just do this. Or no, I don't get it. Gloria, same thing for you. Have my direct sellers, have online parties, have online things that people can come and join in, and you can sell your product. Now it's time for you to embrace Instagram. And Diana Morgan, don't miss next month's Mastermind, because Diana Morgan is going to tell you how to do that. You know, people of a certain age, we really are afraid. I'm just going to put it out there. We're afraid to learn something new. It's scary. And then if you have children and you ask them for help, they fly through it so fast that we feel like a bunch of idiots when they're done. And you just want to smack them and say, okay, do it again. Tell me again. That's why you want to come to people your age who have the same fears that you have, who have an expertise and can help you with these things. And so I hope and meeting and networking with people today, you'll be able to do that. Create and engaging content. A meeting's content messaging are always important. You guys are here to get the content today. Let's not beat around the bush about that. It's important to think about how to add human touch and virtual meetings by continuously creating an interactive type meeting. Okay, so in a little while, you guys will be able to come off your mute and we'll have some interaction. You will get to interact with Athina as well. Some of the different types of virtual meetings are webcasts, and doing webcasts and Zoom meetings are considered webcasts. Showing slides as a visual guide help keep virtual attendees on track during the meeting. They also emphasize key messages to ensure that they understand what you're talking about, or they understand what they do, what you're trying to express or convey. Some of you can do personalized with the video. It enhances the authenticity. It enhances, people get to see your personality. We know that people buy from people who are personable, who you feel like you have or can have a possible relationship with. It's really key that your audience gets more engaged the more of your personality they can see. And again, creating interaction. You can do that by having Q&A sessions, by doing polling and surveys. This helps your attendants feel like they're participating in the meeting. A mobile event can take interaction and attendee networking to the next level. And that's what you want to do. When we talk about measuring success and polling, communicate, motivate, generate revenue. You want to educate, you want to encourage people to participate, you want to gauge whether they're satisfied and evaluate you want to give them a chance to evaluate your meeting and you want to measure the cost of delivery, because we're all looking for our ROI as we go through and do these. We all really want to are trying to increase our income. So you want to look at the cost of doing the virtual event versus the delivery method, and measure the cost of your event per attendee, so that if your virtual event is something that you're going to charge for, personally, for those of us who've done live events, we know that the overhead is anywhere from $2,000 to $6,000 to host an event in a live venue, especially when we're doing it at hotels and things like that. And I know Marlise can totally identify with that, because she's an event producer as well. And doing a virtual event, we've just cut our overhead, pretty much eliminated it, so that there's definitely the cost to, that's the cost to be able to, the cost to be able to put on an event or host an event virtually makes your ROI go up even more. And you can lower the cost that you charge people. I mean, to get into a live event, $97 is, or $197 is really reasonable. That's what you can look at paying to get into a live event. Thanks, Diana. But the cost now, if you look at some of these live events, where you can charge $25 or $30 or $40 and get more people. So, and that's money in your pocket. You've got a bigger reach for when you do things virtually. You can reach everything. You're not running from speaking to with your little cart pulling behind you. You're not running from speaking engagement to speaking engagement, or event to event. Travel time, all of those other expenses kind of go away. Diana says pain and suffering. And putting on live events is a lot of pain and suffering. But that was our only way to get in front of people and influence them. So I encourage you to step out of the fear zone and take advantage of doing things virtually, and look at the cost savings, and start to look at the ease of doing virtual events. We just need to practice, and the more we practice, the better, the more we master what we're trying to do with virtual events. Okay, can we put up the slides? What I've done is create for you kind of a checklist of things that you can look at and do before you put on a virtual event. You will all get a copy of this checklist, so you will be able to copy it and use it and do whatever you want to do with it. But it gives you a method to SOPs. SOPs are standard operating procedures. Are you going to do everything every time? No, but as you continue to do them, you'll check off more boxes where you'll be able to set up these things. You want to always, first thing on our list before the event, select the topic and summarize the objectives. Today's objective is to get you over the fear of doing virtual events. That was one of the things I wanted to get you set up on, and make sure that that shows up. All of your objectives shows up in your event description. Selecting a topic. We want you to be able to use what you already know, and when we have our one-on-one sessions, I'm going to teach you how to tweak that to a topic that you can teach. If you're going to have speakers, you want to identify those speakers. You want to make sure that people know who those speakers are. Then you want to choose a format. Is it a webinar? Is it a party? Are you going to do it on WebEx? Are you going to do it on Zoom? Are you going to do it on Google Duo? There's different formats. Zoom seems to be the most comfortable one, but I know some people are using other things. I do WebEx a lot of with Cisco systems. A lot of people, as you master one thing, you'll be able to move on to doing other things, or hire somebody that can and help you. Create a calendar file. When you're doing a, when I tell you, say create a calendar file, one of the things you want to include when you're posting your virtual event in your social media, or in in your ticket selling, whether you sell tickets through Square or Eventbrite, you want to have tags in there so people can add your event to the calendar, to their personal calendars, to their Google Calendar, to their iCalendar, to their Outlook calendar. That's one of the ones that we tend to forget. Brand the experience. Again, tell people what the deliverables are going to be. What are they going to get out of this? And make sure it's on brand for you. If you're having a transformational women's event, make sure that the transformation follows all through the event. So then you want to schedule your promotional emails in social media. Diana's a great expert at that. When you deal with a lot of speakers, or in the past, scheduling promotional emails and when they go out, and next month Diana will tell you, go over a calendar with you on how you should promote events. Because people it's a lot more to it than just scheduling promotional emails. And especially when it comes to social media, you want to do some inspiring things, and you want to do some things that help people get to know you. Then you want to send reminder emails and reminder social media activity. So just want to remind you of this. We have X amount of days. Make sure it's showing up on your website as well. Produce follow-up emails. Follow-up emails are just something that another thing that we tend to forget. And it should be created so that it goes out immediately after the event. You want to keep yourself fresh and present in everyone's mind. Create your presentation slides. I am not a PowerPoint expert. I usually don't use a lot of PowerPoint, but at the same time, today I have a virtual assistant who can do these things for me, where it takes her 10 minutes to create a PowerPoint presentation. It takes me 10 hours, 2 days of frustration to do this. I'm not doing it. But these things keep your audience engaged, and you don't want to forget to create a few if you're comfortable with it. It helps remind you of what you're talking about, plus it gives the person, the audience, visual things to look at. Now, create a poll. Sometimes creating a poll, if you've never done that before, or a survey, again, is another step to getting the audience engaged. And you can ask questions. You can give them 3 or 4 choices to answer, or you can do the box thing where you have them write in answers and give explanations about the event that they participated in with you today. You may ask them, tell us what you think was most helpful. That could be part of a poll or exit survey. Or you can do the same thing with a poll. Okay, and train your speakers on the platform. If you have speakers coming on, let them know that what the platform is going to be used, and make sure they understand it. All right, thank you, Diana. I know you have to go. We'll go over your slide, and I'll tell everybody what you're going to talk about. All right, is that okay? Thank you. Okay, next slide. The day of the event. Promote your meeting again through email and social media. Send something. You guys should have gotten something last night, or something at 7 o'clock this morning that still had more information on it to remind you of today's event. This part, make or have a team member make reminder phone calls. I prefer to make them myself, because that way I get you get to hear and know that you're going to be dealing directly with me. If you have a team member make this phone call, make sure that it's somebody with personality, somebody who knows you, somebody who can promote you, and that people are going to be comfortable talking to. Not just, hi, this is so-and-so, I'm calling from Tiny Tires Parker. She wanted me to remind you about the meeting tomorrow. Do you have any questions? Okay, bye. That is not good customer relations or good ways to deal and make reminder phone calls. It's, hey, how are you doing? We've got this event coming up tomorrow. Tanya wanted me to check in with you and see if you had any challenges. Do you have the log on? Do you know how to do that? If not, we can walk through it right now. You want somebody that has enough information about the event and about how you work, and that is on brand for you. Test speaker lines. So we started this morning, I want to say about 8:30, 8:45, going through the speaker lines and what everybody was going to do. And we went live to make sure that everything was working, even with Mercury being in retrograde and the problems we've had this week. It became very important that we do that. This little hand is on there, Athena. Is this that someone's raising their hand? Oh, okay. It went bye-bye. Publish and promote on-demand recordings. So we will, this call is being recorded. This event is being recorded. The chat and everything will be in the VIP Mastermind group, and you'll have access to that. Update your web page and registration, your registration page and your website. again, having that countdown clock on there is really good. And don't forget to deactivate your confirmation emails and start immediately to promote your next event. My coach always says, at the thing, you invite them to the next thing. So don't forget, you're not just planning one activity, you want to keep them engaged. So continue to let them know that when the next event is. Our events are the third Wednesday of every month. So we already have next month's up and ready to go, and you got a chance to meet Diana and hear a little bit about her, what she's gonna do next month and what she's gonna go over. And always schedule follow-up appointments with your guest. Okay, don't forget to do that. Today, if you schedule a follow-up appointment with me, you get a special prize. So next slide. And even after the event, send the follow-up email. Make time in your calendar for follow-up sales calls. So for the next 3 days, I will be talking to people and making calls. And give people time to respond to unanswered user questions. Okay. Review survey responses. Review poll responses. Always ask for feedback and analyze with your team and share event analytics. Analytics is a fancy way of saying checking in with the team to find out what worked and what didn't work. How can we improve on this? What do we need to change? If you never do that, then you want things to be wash, rinse, and repeat. But if you never do that, and you just keep doing the same thing and you don't up-level yourself virtually to do a better event next time, there's always things that we're gonna forget. There's always things that we need to improve on. So take time afterwards, go over it with the team as soon as you can while people still have it fresh in their minds so that you can be ready for the next event. All right. Can I see everybody's beautiful face? I only have one person. I'm not, let me see, do I have a gallery view? All right.
Switch to the gallery view.
There we are. So did anybody have any questions right now? Just kind of raise your hand.
There was one that came through.
There's a button in the chat that allows you to raise your hand, I think.
There was one that came through, Tanya.
Uh-huh.
Austin had a question.
Austin, go ahead.
So Austin may be frozen, but I can read his question that he wrote in chat. It was, what do you think will be temporary trends versus long-term effects of coronavirus in relation to this?
I think there's a new normal that we're all going to have to live with. This is something that for the next 2 years, you got to look at it that far in advance, that is not going away. A lady told me she couldn't come to my event. She'd rather wait until my live event. She'd rather wait until they came up with a vaccine. Coming up with a vaccine is about at least 18 months away. Even though they swear they have it on speed dial, it is working as fast as they can, and they're doing things as quickly as possible. Well, I don't want a rush job. I want an effective vaccine. So you really want to make sure that your business you're thinking that far ahead. Did that answer your question, Austin?
I think he's frozen, but yes, I believe so.
Okay. Anybody else? Just take yourself off mute and let's have some dialogue real quick. Okay, Gloria, what are you thinking?
You know, as you shared, I think the most difficult part is the information coming to all of us that we're being bombarded with. It's so full of lies, you don't know who to trust. So like you, I have customers who are like, you know, they want to schedule a one-on-one. Well, my husband has, you know, health issues that I can't do that. And so I'm trying to get them to, you know, like, let's try something new. Let's try Skype. Let's try Zoom. And I can tell you how to apply the makeup and you can do it and we can laugh, we can have fun. So I think you're right about getting out of the comfort, because yeah, I love the fact I make it, I put it out there and I don't have to worry about it. And now I'm having to force myself to be more out and about, which is.
And my daughter-in-law is making big bank because she's showing people, she on Instagram, she's putting the makeup on in the mirror and filming herself on Instagram and putting it out there. She's created a t-shirt and a hat that she wears and sells to people with her makeup on it.
Wow.
Okay, with the name of her business. The millennials and the Generation Xers and Zs,
yes,
they got it. They're letting their creativity flow. And once you start to learn that you can put out a video easy, very easy on Instagram, I didn't believe how easy it was. Instagram is like, it was foreign to me. But watching her do this, and then she gets my granddaughter involved, who's 15, and they go over skincare, and put that video up there. And now she's built a team. Wow. And they have sales challenges and different things like that. And she gives them certain things. And here's a free this if you get that. We gotta attack it that way.
Yeah,
we really do.
You're right.
Tracy T.
I love virtual. Virtual in the direct sales jewelry business is fantastic. I love not carrying the jewelry from event to event. I miss the real hugs. I miss people, but I am having so much fun, and I am being creative as well. I'm an older woman, you know, I'm 60 plus. So, and I also, you know, you brought up Amazon, and lots of people, when they receive something from Amazon, it's not the best quality and people are not happy about what they're getting. But if you have a brand such as my brand, Swarovski, and you have a home business, you know, something you're proud about, and you're personable, and there's a lot of possibility and opportunity. And I think it's very.
If you have a direct sales product, look at Etsy. Etsy, you can go on there and start to sell things. Get a shipping. They've got a lot of inexpensive ways to ship things now to people, and it cuts the cost. You know, you can have that stuff picked up at your house from the post office and shipped out. So we'll have people put some of that information in the virtual group. Deborah, did you have something you wanted to share?
One of the things that we do with our makeup and skin brand is we have samples that we send out. And what we're doing is we're creating community on Facebook. My partner is the one that's doing all that. I do the shipping and the follow-up. And we're filling the funnel right now. And it's going to be a day or so before the results start to happen, but it's really we've been doing videos too. We do giveaways. We do like makeup online, and my pistachio business has gone through the roof because everybody's buying on Amazon. So,
and you can sell on Amazon as well, correct?
No, well, I can sell on Amazon, but that's not the there goes my camera. That's not the model that we use. It's basically one-on-one groups, parties, that kind of thing.
Okay. And so you want to look at other ways of getting people your product.
Yes.
And they're out there. When we talk, I will have ways of getting you and getting your product out there to people for you direct sellers who have something you want to ship. When we do our Friday night things, people can win all kinds of stuff doing a raffle. You can do a raffle.
Right.
And put it in a little box and send it out. And you just include the cost of your, that's exactly it. You include the cost of your of the price of the item, you include the shipping cost. That's just, we pay for shipping, we pay Amazon for shipping and handling. We pay Walmart if we don't order over $45 worth of stuff. Right? We pay DoorDash. All of this extra money for delivery fees and service fees. So why aren't you thinking of charging these things?
One of the questions we get asked is how much is shipping?
And like I said, there's companies out there. I saw a commercial for a company last night that I didn't write it down because it was like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I probably should have, but I've been asleep, but I was up. The the company said when they were talking about how much money they had saved by using this particular company to ship, that they print the labels right there on their desk, and they just put the label on the box and send it out. What's a trip to the post office, or you can have one of those baskets outside of your house where they come and they pick it up.
Right.
Especially if you can get a basket from the post office if that's the kind of business that you want to run. Okay, we want to do a breakout room.
Did you get my message, Tanya?
Yeah, I sent that to you in an instant message last night, and the breakout rooms were going to be random.
So it's on the screen right now. That's what it means. On my side.
What screen? Okay, so it says I have to make you the host. Do I have to do that?
Yes.
Okay.
Or I can post and we can answer the questions.
Okay.
So, okay, now I have it.
Yeah. So see, you just learned something. I mean, and things are going to happen and you're going to have to, you know, kind of adjust, and nobody's expecting you to be perfect.
So let's see here. We've got, so Tanya, were you wanting to be in a room?
No.
Okay. So when you get in, just go ahead and remove yourself from the room.
Okay. Now, when you go into the group, into the individual breakout rooms, the first one I want you to do is to discuss the things that you're having a challenge with the people in your group, in your breakout room, and listen to the suggestions. Take notes that they might have on what your challenges may be. And then we will have a poll after that.
Yeah, and then we can do that after that. So let me go ahead and do this last switch. And so there will be probably you and one other person to give you time. So Tanya, when you jump into a room, just go ahead and remove yourself, and then leave the two ladies there to talk. So, all right.
All righty.
One last move here. So what's going to happen
Cross
when
your
you go
fingers, hope it works.
So what happens is you will automatically, through the magic of technology, you're going to be broken up into rooms. There may be 2 to 3 people in a room. And then you're going to have 14 minutes to have a conversation. And I believe you just gave the directions on that. Is that correct, Tanya?
Mm-hmm.
So everyone knows what they're going to be doing. And then it will count down when we have 1 minute left, and you can jump out of the room and come back into this space, or you can stay there and the system will do it for you. So
this is not time to sell your products. There's no product selling right now. This is not what this group is about.
It's all for helping each other and brainstorming.
It's all for helping each other. I've had some people who did that last time and bombarded some people with selling things, and they're no longer invited to the Zoom meetings. That is one rule I do have. If you have something, you put it in the chat and everybody will get a copy of the chat.
All right. So are we ready to go? I'm ready on my side, Tanya.
All right.
All right. So we'll see you back here shortly.
To take a minute and introduce our next presenter is Athina Salazar. She is a Chief Possibility Officer. She's made all the things that I thought possible. I have to tell you, she's amazing. She's a speaker and a trainer. She's been doing this for over 15 years. She's worked with all kinds of organizations. So anything she's going to touch on some of the things we talked about today. She's an executive, has had experience with nonprofits, finance companies, accounting, senior care, real estate. And she has some ways that you can get in touch with her, which she will put in the chat. Take it away, Athina. Why do I want to call you Athina?
I don't know.
And I've known you for 2 years. I don't get it.
It just happens like that. So I'll go ahead and take that off the screen. So yes, my name is Athina Salazar, and I'm the Chief Possibility Officer with Life to Design. So I do both business and leadership coaching. So with that, what we're covering today, I'm giving you the 5 key steps to effectively move from live to online. So how do you move your interactions with your audience to an online platform? So we're not going to get really technical, but I'm going to give you equipment, things like that you're going to need and make sure to have. So the first key, so if you're writing these down, this is going to be the first key, and we're going to make some bullets underneath of it. So first you have to set your intention for your event. So inside of the chat, if from what you heard earlier, you were talking, Tanya was talking, different ways that you could use an online platform. So if in the chat, you just write down a potential way that you could use that in your business. So let's see what we've got.
Okay, Athena, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I filled out the form and now you're not there.
So if you go to speaker view, or you can click on speaker view and you should be able to see us. Yeah. So I know some ideas. I know that Rosa, she was talking about senior care, and you're like, well, how do I use this platform? How do I do virtual for this? So what kind of intention are you setting? Some of it could be tours. So just masterminding ideas. Some of it could be tours of your facility, conversations with your staff of people wanting to place their family member there. It can also be ideas of how to allow your residents to actually reach out to their families, to be involved in different communities. There's so many different events like this that are happening around where maybe they just want to get some education and keep their mind sharp. You know, there's some ideas like that. So what are some of the intentions of how you think to use this? I think Tracy mentioned that you do one-on-one with people to be able to show them products, be able to see them on screen. I think Deborah's been doing some demos. And then the other Deborah Wills. So is there a particular way that you use virtual platforms right now?
Yes, thank you for the question. They are. We actually have an app, and many of you probably know that we work with referral agencies that do placements to the community. And they came up with a nice app as well, where we can, in the blink of an eye, we can just click, like Zoom, and send them a tour and walk with them while they're looking at the phone. So it's not, however, I do have a challenge that I'm getting better at. Because
so what you can do, Rosa, is go ahead and put your question in the chat, and then I'll come back to that, to your question.
Okay.
Yeah, you can go ahead and do that. Yeah. Okay. So some of the other ones with Julie being in the travel industry, it could be, I was actually having an idea between the senior care and actually the travel industry. I know that you have activities in senior care, and there's a lot of activities that go on, and you can actually pay to have a travel agent take them to a new place. So she can talk about, you know, maybe a different country, you know, have pictures up of the experience of that country, and being able to let them know, take a virtual tour. You know, there's some of the ideas to get the word out about what it is that people do. What is the experience? So you really want to set your intention. So really come up with those ideas. I think some of us were talking about community events. You know, sometimes it's just bringing the community together. I know that Tanya has her wine o'clock. You know, maybe it's just doing that, or maybe it is literally bringing the community together. I know that I've hosted some community briefings with our captain of police in the area. So the people in our surrounding community can actually come on, ask questions of the captain. They want to know what's going on right now in the community. So that's what they're doing. So reaching out and bringing the community together. So the second key is actually knowing your audience. So write down, know your audience. So some of them are not tech savvy at all.
Yes, that's
So
true.
that's something to think about. So if you're going to do an event, you want to make sure to do it on a platform that makes it very easy for your participants to participate. So that's why you may decide to use a platform that doesn't require a download. So with Zoom, if you're on your phone, it requires a download. If you're on your computer, it requires a download. So there's GoToWebinar, WebEx, all of the ones that we've been talking about, there's multiple layers to do that. So there's an example, one of them is called Webinar Jam, and you do not require a download. All they require is a link. You click on the link and then they're there. But it's specifically for webinars. So that's where we really want to know how we're going to deliver. So what's the intention of what we're doing? And then how are we going to deliver that for our audience specifically? So I know that Tanya mentioned earlier, streaming. So maybe it's easier for your audience to actually see you on Facebook or see you on YouTube. So then you can actually be in a Zoom environment and feed that over to Facebook or YouTube. So that is potentially something that you could do. Or you could record here. You know, a very cost-effective way is if you're here on Zoom, you sign up for a free package for Zoom. That means that if you're by yourself, you can actually record a video. You can download that recording and you can upload that to Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. You can take that same video and put it where you would like that, but you can practice in an environment. So that's zero cost. You know, for Zoom, it's your time, but there you can actually record video. If you don't have a video recording type of software or cameras or anything like that, you can use a Zoom platform, the free version, to do that yourself, because it's unlimited time for you by yourself or with one other person. So I think some of you had where you're there with one other person. So Tracy, you're probably using it where you may have one other person. You have unlimited time on a free package. When you get more than that, that's when you have to start paying for platforms. It's when you have more than one-on-one, then you're going to have to do that. So that's some of knowing your audience, knowing their level of what they can do. So also knowing your audience is maybe they're more technical and you can actually provide a brochure. Maybe you want to provide a brochure about what's going on, or a flyer. Maybe you want to show them, you know, what Tanya was sharing earlier. She said, these slides are going to, you know, come to you, you know, these check sheets. You know, do you want them to instantly have those? Do you want something to pop up so then they can download that? It opens in another window. Would you like to have that? Would you like to include videos in your presentation? That's going to dictate what platforms you're going to use. So you can actually maybe Julie, there's some marketing videos for different cruise lines that they have. Maybe you want to interject some of those videos into the presentation that you're doing. So if you're connecting with HR managers or the business development where they're planning things, you can actually insert videos, provide, you know, some documents for them to download, ways to reach you. You know, you can put that into the format, but it's setting the intention, thinking about my audience, what am I wanting to provide to them? So really thinking about that. So video interjections, also offers. So here in this environment, it gives the opportunity to, here Tanya is putting her link in the chat for people to online schedule. So she has an online schedule that links to her personal schedule. Could be Google, it could be Outlook, it could be any of those. So it makes sure not to schedule something if you have something else there. You know, so that's the importance of having an online schedule. So making things as virtual as possible and easy for you. So here on this platform, that's how she's doing her offer. So you can look at it, you can click on the link as Deborah did and set an appointment. Some platforms have it where there's a whole button where then something pops up in chat. The person says, yes, I want to set an appointment, and they can click on there and it opens it up in another window, and it may be a smoother experience. So that's where, when you're researching and you're deciding how to move from live to online, thinking of all of these ideas is very important in brainstorming. What do I want to communicate to people? What do I want to give to them? So there's a lot of ideas there. So let me go ahead, and another idea is, have you ever thought of what you're presenting? Is that repeatable? Are you saying the same thing every time? If you're saying the same thing every time, would you like to automate your process? So your videos and your webinars could be playing as if they're live, but it's wine o'clock. You're sitting there on the couch watching a movie and your webinar's working, and it's out there and it's playing, and it gives people information about your business. You're actually doing interaction with the audience. You created a live environment, but you don't have to be there. So think of that possibility of what that could potentially mean for you. So I'm working with a company right now. They're actually in insurance, and there's a general information meeting. You know, they're specifically in the Medicare environment. So Rosa, you have people that are obviously on Medicare. So in the Medicare environment, anybody over the age of 65 or around 65, you know, they're now with the carriers, because of our situation, they are actually allowing the agents to do a Medicare 101, just educating people on Medicare. They did not allow that before, but now, because of the situation, all of these carriers and CMS are saying you can actually do a Medicare 101, which means that it's repeatable. It's exactly the same presentation, no matter if there's one person, 10 people, 50 people, it doesn't matter. So with that, you could automate that process. So the agent can actually have a video play 10 a.m., 1 o'clock, and 4 o'clock during the day. Provide them, here's my phone number. You know, go ahead and check in chat. That's my phone number. You could call me if you have any questions. So after this webinar, I can go ahead and talk with you about your specific information. So thinking about, is there a way that I could do that with my business? Is there something, just maybe it's about, so Tracy, thinking about jewelry. You know, if you're doing, I'm going to do this educational event on, you know, the different aspects of jewelry. Here's, you know, different combinations, you know, educating somebody on the products that you have. So you can actually record that video as if you're interacting with the audience. There can be live chat going that you pre-programmed, you know, to ask you certain questions, and you respond to those questions. So the person feels that it is live. And then you can say, okay, I don't have any more time for questions, but that covers the topic of how to utilize your jewelry in a certain way, you know, and then if you have any other questions, go ahead and click the button and be able to set a time with me. So all of that can be done, and you only recorded it once, and it plays when the people would like to see it. But you do it during a certain time, so it still seems live. You don't want to do it at midnight, you know? So it's like thinking of those different things. So now on the third, so your event style. So thinking about your event style. So this is where we, Tanya mentioned that earlier, hybrid events. Do you want a hybrid event? That's where you have a live element. There's people live in a room, and then they're also online. Or would you like to have a meeting like this? Do you want to be able to see your audience? So that's going to dictate exactly what kind of platform you're going to use. Do I want to see the pictures of people? Do I want to interact in that way? So the other is, you know, that's not really that important. I don't necessarily need to see them, but I would like for them to be able to put information in the chat, to be able to communicate that way. So what type of control do you want during your event? Because I know a lot of times here with Zoom, a lot of people have heard of security, like, oh my gosh, it's not secure, you know, or something like that. People have popped in. So there's ways that you can secure your meeting. So if it's a webinar type of environment where you're the speaker, you can even have other speakers there with you, bring them on the screen, do a presentation. The audience cannot come on live. They can't jump onto the screen. So they can be in chat, they can go ahead and have that interaction still with you in your event, but there isn't that possibility of them being able to jump on the screen. But when you do a meeting like this, and if it's a public link, like I know that Tanya does it where people register and then she provides that to them. So when that happens, then she's securing it. So the people that are on our list are the only ones that get through the waiting room. So with Zoom, they give you the option of waiting room. So you can let people in as you see their names come up. You can actually lock your event. You can lock it down after a certain time. You give maybe 15 minutes and then you lock it. So nobody else, even if they can't even come to the waiting room. So there's different, or you could put a password. So people, when they get the link, they require a password to get in. So there's different security measures that were in place but weren't used. So that's where it's just knowing what it is that you have your hands on. How do I use my platform to the best of its ability? So some people have Zoom and they have no idea that they could do breakout rooms like we just did and have that experience. So there's all of those things to think about. So where you're having guest speakers. So maybe, so one example is thinking about, do I primarily want to have an event local people in my event that I could potentially, you know, drive to talk to later? Or do I want that international? Do I want more of a regional or a global audience for what I want? So think of those things as well. Because, for example, there was the San Francisco Sustainable Fashion Week that had to be moved online because we can't connect together. People from all over the world were going to come into the event. So in order for us to still be able to allow that to happen, it required the coordination of speakers from around the world at certain times. They were going to come and be a panelist. So it's like, okay, so we showed a video. So you could show a video that's playing and you bring in your speakers behind, like the green room, bring them behind the video. And then as soon as the video is done, you bring up your presentation and then your presenters are there. So think about, would I like to just do a one-on-one like we're doing here? Like host, speaker, you know, our two speakers? Do I want more than one speaker? How do I want to do that? How do I want, like here for Julie, maybe there's a specialist from one of the cruise lines. Maybe there's, you know, people want to ask questions to that person. You can actually have an event similar to this where people could come in and ask questions. So that highlights the cruise line, you know, what's being offered, what potentially, like I know that I was asking questions on, you can have an event on a cruise. Like a lot of people are, you know that they're all like, hey, I want to do that in my event on the cruise. So then what are the details? Like, how does that happen? Like here with Tanya's organization, you know, there's a lot of event planners. So they're all like, oh, I never thought about that. And as a speaker and as a coach, you know, we actually look to have events like that too, because we want to create an experience. So, but we don't know the details. When's the best time to travel? How does it work? Like, how many people do I need to have involved? What's a good price point? You know, if I get so many, what do I receive as a perk? You know, can I leave stuff in the room? Can I not? You know, what can I bring on? You know, there's so many different questions. So if you're educating people about that and bringing and creating an event, creating a webinar that gives those people those answers, there's that possibility. And now with a hybrid event, maybe some people want to participate, but they can't be on the cruise, but they would like to have that experience. So then figuring out with the cruise line, would that be possible? Can't we have a hybrid event? Can we actually have the event and then stream that? Is it possible? Maybe it's possible if you're close to the coast, so you can still get, you know, good cell reception or, you know, internet reception. But that's something that people would like to know, so they can still, as we come out of this, be able to participate in this way. So I know that Austin had the question about, is this going to be the new normal? And yes, to a point, yes, it is. Because now people understand this technology has been around for years, but they did not quite know how to use it. Now people are more comfortable with it. So if they can just be in their sweatpants and a nice shirt, and it's all like, and I can just get my snack and come in and be on something, I can work from home. So there have been multiple events that I've been a part of with people internationally. Last week, I was on one with people in Singapore. And then before that, I was on, a few weeks before that, I was on another event with people in Dubai. So I never would have met all of these people, because now all of them are using the platforms. And the other one is, I was going through a training, and it's more high level than what we're covering today. But there's the introductory, like people just getting on the platform. What's the standard? What's the standard that people expect? Then there's a mid-level and then a higher level, which would be basically you're a TV studio in your home. So a lot of us right now are starting at ground zero. So some of the things that you want to think about. So in event style, so that was event style, but so I'm going into knowing yourself, knowing what level do you want to be at? Do you want to be at the introductory level of, you know, I'm kind of starting out in virtual events, you know, I don't have a lot of experience, that's my level 1. Do I want to take myself to level 2? Or do I actually want to build a studio? Like what is the level that I want to be at? What kind of perception do I want my audience to have? So some of that is your environment. So here we have virtual backgrounds. And this one, I would love to be at this home, but this is actually a physical background. So I'm showing you behind the scenes. So this is actually there, because for me, and I know that Tanya has this issue too, if you move too much on a virtual background, you start getting pixelated. This hair is going to be pixelated like crazy. So professionally, yeah, see? So professionally, you're like, I don't want to have that happen. I want to have it very clean. So here, this is a physical background. So that's what's behind me. A lot of times when I go with people, they're all like, oh, did you move to a new place? And I'm all like, oh yeah. It's like behind the curtain, you know? So what I have is I actually have a pole that goes across. So then when I'm ready to do my videos, I actually hook up what I require at that time, and it's there. So the other thing that you want to think about is lighting. I know that Tanya mentioned that. Lighting, you want to think about your lighting. So some examples. So you may want something like this. So you've probably seen these, you know, the ring light. So you want to be, especially with jewelry, especially with makeup, you want to be able to have good lighting. You want them to be able to see you. They want to be able to see all of you. So you want to make sure to have that. The other one is audio. It's very important to make sure that people can hear you, because there's a huge difference. I was working with a client yesterday. She just got a microphone, an external microphone to her computer. So she was using her laptop microphone. They are not meant to be able to clearly be heard. So she would speak, and we recorded it. She was talking, you could kind of hear her, but it got a little pixelated here and there. You know, you couldn't really quite hear what she was saying. She turned on the microphone, very clear. So there's clear delivery of your message. There's no issues with, you know, sound dropping off. So make sure you have an external microphone. You can get them for $40 is the one that she got. The one that I have right here, it's pretty big. You've probably seen these. This one particular one is the Blue Yeti. And with that one, it has different options. I can take it, somebody could be sitting on the opposite side of me. We can both be recording audio. So there's different purposes for what you have. This one is closer to around $200, $250. But with Facebook Marketplace, got it for 50 bucks because somebody used it twice, then they didn't want to use it anymore. So it's a good equipment. So you can find things. So even if you're on a budget, you can find these pieces of equipment. The other one is your camera. Do not rely on your camera that's in your laptop computer or your desktop. If it's built into yours, you want an external camera. So look for an external camera because that's going to give you the clarity. Like the one that I have here, it's a high definition camera. So it's external and I have it on a tripod so I can move it. I can move it up and down. And then that's not connected to it's connected to my computer, but it's not on my computer. So so here I'm standing up. Like I am short, but I'm standing. Because as a presenter, you want to make sure to have the right energy. So when you're presenting on stage, you're not sitting down. So it's the same thing. It's just you've moved to a virtual environment, but that still doesn't mean as a presenter, you want to be able to have that same energy going on. You want to be able to still do that. So I actually have, so if I do sit down, I have my own stool. So then, you know, if something's going on, like during the breakout session, let me take a little break, you know, and then get back up. So you really want to make sure that you have that energy as a speaker. So you want to create your environment so it has that. So the last area is actually your attendee experience. So we talked about that a little bit. What do you want to carry them through? What type of experience do you want to have? So you want to be able to bring your people on an experience. So branding, I know that Tanya mentioned this before. Branding is very important. You want to make sure that you have your logo. You want to make sure that when you put your events together, it's using your colors. Your logo is in there, the colors are in there, the emails that you send out with their links. Make sure to customize those so they have maybe a picture of at a minimum, a picture of your business card, your picture. You want that in there. You want that experience so that when people log on, they're like, oh, they know that it's you. And then as they go through that experience, they got one email. And if you post your events ahead of time, I know Tanya was talking about that email sequence that they get, have them do something. Like have something in the email that's like action item. Come with ideas about this. Come with your questions about this. You may be able to, in your platform, depending on which one it is, you can ask them questions before they even come. So then they can answer a questionnaire. So when they're in the environment, you're going to be able to answer all their questions because that's what you want them to have. So then they're in the environment. What do you want to have as an experience inside of the environment as you're interacting with them? Do you want this interaction? Maybe you want music. So that's something else that a lot of people do. So legally, because we are in a private session, we are not broadcasting this. We're not streaming it on any platforms. We could play music. You know, at the beginning, we had a little bit of music playing. But as soon as you move that to Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, any of those platforms, as soon as you do that, you're breaking copyright law. So you could be fined for using even the smallest audio segment if it's not uncopyrighted music. So just be mindful that if you are going to have a session and you're going to stream that or post that later on a platform, like say, for example, this event, we're going to be editing that, and then we're going to be taking off the area that has music. So then when we post it, we're not going to get in trouble, because YouTube will shut your channel down if you're using music in a way that you're not supposed to. So just a little legal tip, because you want to have a good experience for your audience, but be mindful of how you're going to use that afterwards, or you obtain licenses for all of those things. And also in this process, you want to automate as much as possible, because think about if you had 100 people attend your event. Am I going to be able to contact all of them? We were talking about phone calls here a couple of minutes ago. Would you like to actually have it where you could record your voice to let them know and have that sent out to everyone? You could automate that process so you have those different touch points. So there are different ways that you can do that. So what I'm going to do is, if any of you have any questions, you can go ahead. I'm going to be bringing something up here in a second. So if any of you have any questions right now, you could go ahead and unmute your microphone and go ahead and ask your question while I'm getting some information up here.
Well, you have a lot of great content. I think one of the scariest parts for me is the technology. I have used Zoom to make videos, and also I think it's a great idea to practice, using Zoom. And I love the fact that you can have a free account, which means that you can record up to 40 minutes, or if you have a paid account, which I have. But the scary part for me, because I even tried to use Loom most recently, I think that's what it's called, Loom. And I liked the video and I liked but I didn't really understand how to transfer it once it's a video, like, to like Facebook, for example, or something.
Yeah, so that's where actually going through the process, and what I put in the chat is actually my card, and I'll show you that as well. So these are different tools that you can use for yourself as well. So you can click on your on my link that's in the chat. And does my link show up for you, Danny? I'm gonna put it in there again so you can see that. So if you click on that link, it'll open up, and that's my card. So in reference to what you were talking about, Tracy, let me go ahead and just show you where you can connect with me. So when you click on that link, it'll take you to my business card. So what you'll want to do is you'll see my information. I'll have my contact information on there, and you can book an appointment there at the bottom. Also, you can look on this side. This may be the easier way to do it, and just click on this logo at the top, and it'll take you to booking about 30 minutes with me on there. So we can go into your specific questions, because what you're asking, there would be more questions to ask you. So then we could help determine exactly what type of platform would be good for you to deliver and what your intention is. So that was the first one.
Yes.
What is your intention and what is the audience experience that you're wanting to create? So on here, it gives you some other information, but from that link, you can go ahead and click on here. So this is what it would look like on your screen. So this is, so I'll go ahead and get off of that. So yes, Tracy, just figuring out what is my intention of what I want to do, what is it that I'm wanting to create, and then from there, where am I wanting to take it from there? And then just kind of brainstorming ideas around that. So you're welcome to set up a time we can talk and figure out what some options are. So did anybody else have any questions? Yeah, Julie?
Athena, your bump card that you have, is that just for you, or could we get, is that separate? Would we each get one of those? And is there a cost for it?
So on there, yeah, you could schedule a time with me and I could go over that with you. But at the very bottom of the first page, it says, if you would like a card like mine, go ahead and click the button. But if you would like to talk about it and maybe see how with these, you can actually have links to your webinars. You could have your event information on there, you know, and in a virtual environment like this, how we're going to be providing the chat out to people. Some of the things that you want to think about is, okay, if I'm in a networking event, like I know Tracy's been to some, Danny's been to some, I think a lot of the other people, online events, how do I allow people to see what it is that I do? Like, yeah, you can put your Facebook page there and put that there so people can access it. But maybe you have more you want to share. Maybe there's actually a video that you would like to have them see, and this would be an option. So using technology to the best of its abilities. So just seeing what's out there, seeing what's available. So that, so yes, we could set up some time to be able to talk about what that would look like. And especially in marketing, it's like, how do you make it easy for your clients to be able to get the word out there about what they do? And also about videos. That's another way to go virtual. Right there, as soon as you update it, everybody that has your card has that information and it's updated. So did anybody else have any questions at this point? So I think Tanya said that we'll have this video, and there's a lot more that I went into. So if you actually go to my Facebook page or on here on my card, I'm going to be posting another event that's going to be Zoom specific on the ins and outs of Zoom, how to utilize that to the best of its abilities, the settings, you know, doing some more hands-on with that. And that's going to be next Tuesday. So go ahead and you can check on there, go to my Facebook page and be able to check out when that's going to be. So it'll be next Tuesday. I'll be doing that more in depth into specifically the Zoom platform. I'll be doing others later. So I think I've got it all, unless there's any other questions at this point. I think Tanya said this video is going to be in the Mastermind group. So if you're not part of the Mastermind, you can talk to Tanya about that, so she can go ahead and discuss that with you. But also too, you're welcome to reach out to me and we can talk one-on-one more about your actual requirements, you know, and wanting to move to online, because it's a powerful platform and you can use it very well. So
may I say something, please?
Yeah, Tracy.
I really enjoyed your authentic self today. And I enjoyed, you know, what a great presentation, and what a great, lots of tools that so I look forward to checking in with you personally. And thank you so much.
Yeah, well, thank you, Tracy. So yeah, I think I'll be turning it over to
everybody.
Tanya. Yeah.
Thank you. I'd like to welcome Sandra. Glad you could make it. Sorry, we're getting ready to end, but I'd like to hear from each one of you. I really want to tell you, first of all, Athina, creating evergreen products, creating things. Do you know what evergreen means? Product that you can use over and over and over and over. So that it's evergreen all the time. You might go in it once a year and make a little tweak and it stays the same. When you're creating product and things of that nature, you want to make sure that it's evergreen. That's something I've just learned, and so I'm passing it on to you. And I was real happy to hear Athina touch on that, because it saves you work. It saves you time.
A lot of time.
So I want you to start thinking along those terms. So I hope everybody enjoyed today. We're going to go through, starting with Julie Salazar. Give us one takeaway. One takeaway for today.
Okay, I to emphasize for me, because a lot of my business development managers for my cruise lines, tour companies, and they all said, let's do a Zoom meeting with your clients. Let's put it on, record it, put on Facebook Live. So it just re-emphasized for me that this is the way I need to do it. This is what I need to do. And I need to get in there and just do it. You know, I'm just like kind of, again, our age group, baby boomers here, we don't know the technology. We don't know any of that. So we just need to get outside of our box and just go and do it. And like you say, once you do it once, it's easy. You get comfortable and you know what you're doing. And that's what it takes. It just takes that first step to get out of your box.
Yeah, and just think that I'm going to make the first one my worst one ever.
Yeah.
Just purposely make it the worst. So then it's all up from there.
Oh, it's already done.
I crashed and burned really bad on the first one. So yeah,
Okay,
just go ahead and you
Deborah,
can
are
send
you
up
there?
time. Yeah.
Deborah, are you there?
I think she had to step away, so I turned her camera off. Yeah. Or maybe she's
Okay.
back. Let's see.
No, I just turned her mic on. I'm going to mute her again because she hasn't come back.
Yeah.
Danny, what's your takeaway for today?
So, you know, I learned a lot of stuff out in the breakout, so that was a lot of fun. I work at a church, and so we have to do things very differently with COVID now. And so, you know, how do we do back to school bash or 4th of July, things like that. And so I got a lot of great advice, you know, how to still do business during this time.
Okay. Tracy, what's your takeaway for today?
Um,
Can
you gotta unmute yourself.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. I hope that you guys didn't hear my phone ring earlier. If so, I apologize.
Oh, I went and muted you. It's okay.
Thank you.
In that gray container right there by the table.
I wish, I guess, you know, do it the first time and mess it all up. But to be able to be connected with people that can help us, like the baby boomers thing that Julie said, you know, and technology, and, you know, it's not an easy time for us. So this is helpful, and thank you, I guess.
Yeah. A lot of ideas are probably in your head. So start capturing those ideas and then be able to talk about it. Yep.
Okay, Deborah Wills, can you unmute yourself?
Maybe. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, smarty.
I'm sorry that I was late, but I am so glad that I made it for Athina's presentation. I got a lot out of that because right now, with everything that's going on, I've been doing a lot of Zooms and being able to have a way to find out more about how to do it. You know, that's added additional plus. And the breakout groups was nice because I got a chance to share some information that I know with one of the ladies about they're not big on social media, and I told them that that's something that a lot of people aren't happy with, but you have to get out of your comfort zone. So I told her what I do when I want to practice something is I get a mirror and put it in front of me, which is like the person, and then I record myself with my phone, and then I just practice, and then I listen to myself and look at myself, and that way I get more and more comfortable. And I told her she could try that, but I didn't know about the Zoom test thing, so now I can tell her about that too.
Yeah, record yourself on Zoom.
I appreciate the information. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, I did save the chat. The only thing I did not do, I think when we did the breakout sessions, I don't know if the chat went away and I lost it. I don't know. I will find out though.
Oh, it should keep it. It should keep the whole chat.
It should keep it
as the owner. Yeah.
Okay.
It's all there.
Mm-hmm.
You're good.
All right. Sounds good. All right, ladies. Thank you. I hope to see you next month on the 3rd, where Diana Morgan will be presenting. And she'll be talking more about social media. She will go over the do's and don'ts of Facebook and the ins and outs of Instagram. And those are some of the things, you know, she's gonna do it so that it's I told her to dumb it down for me. so that I can get
Make sure
it.
we
Because
understand.
if not, yep, exactly. Because if not, I will not get it. All right.
Yep. So you know how to contact us. So look forward to talking with all of you.
Okay, don't forget to schedule your appointments with me, please. Thank you, Deborah, for scheduling your appointment, and everybody scheduling your appointments already. I can see them. And have a good weekend. Do something nice for yourself. And remember, make it legendary. If you're going to do it, make it legendary. Yeah. All right. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.